Hey guys, it's Misty with my paper cuts, and today I'm coming on to do a quick share. This is this wasn't a planned video. I just had a friend who asked me to share a closer up view of a couple of cards that I posted on Instagram last night. So I decided to come on and do a video because it will give her a better view of them. So last night I was just chit-chatting with P, and I was up in the middle of the night and I was working on this army of albums you see here, which I'll be sharing in a little video later on. And I had, at one point I'd gotten some new SVG cutting files, and I had just played with my little Cricut Joy and cut out a couple of them just to test them and see how they looked. And they were just sitting on my desk, and after I cleaned up from working on the albums, they were just sitting there kind of in the way. I just kept moving them around. And so I decided to grab a couple of them and just throw together some cards. So I've made a couple of coffee gift card shaker cards. That's a mouthful. So I'll share the few products I use besides the cutting files, but these are the cards that I made. So obviously they're Nightmare Before Christmas, but the saying here is I'm a nightmare before coffee, and I actually made a shirt with that, but it has Jack on it instead of Oogie. But I cut out Oogie because I just thought he was so cute. So like I said, these were just, this and this were just sitting on my desk. And so I had some scraps left over from working on those albums. And so I just grabbed the scraps and just made a couple of shakers. So what I did was I used this frame set, which I think I've shared with you guys before. It's very, very old. I don't know about you guys, but I don't like it when there's foam inside. I think it just kind of, it leaves impressions on the paper. It doesn't really help it come out any easier. I'm so glad that there really aren't too many dies around anymore that do that. So I used the largest one here, and I cut it out of a piece of foam and a couple pieces of cardstock just to make it firmer. And then I took the pattern paper and I cut it out, and I took this top layer so that the pattern continued basically, but it was raised up. So that's how the frame was built. And so the frame is on top of the acetate, which is then popped up on some more black foam. So this is a pretty thick card. And that's where the shaker is. And then behind it is just some scraps of gray Swiss dot paper that I had left over. I wanted the words to stand out because they are on top of the acetate. I wanted them to stand out, but not, I didn't want a white background. It was too bright. So these letters are actually cut out with glitter vinyl. And unfortunately, I don't know about any of you that have played with it, but the transfer tape does not like to pick up glitter vinyl, no matter how hard you try to press it in there. And so I actually had to place these letters one by one, and that was loads of fun, especially that tiny little apostrophe. But I got them on there on both of them. And it was worth it because then I didn't have these really fine letters and I didn't have to worry about glue. And I really like the effect of it on top, creating the shadow underneath when the light hits it. And then the sequins inside are just a whole bunch of different Tuesday Morning of those little metal containers. It's just a whole bunch of those, and then some of my favorite, the little gold stars from Target. And I just picked out some colors and mixed them in there. So I did one with a purple scrap, and I did one with a black and white scrap. And the black and white one's actually my favorite. I don't know, it just screams Tim Burton more. So then on the inside of the cards, I used this die, which makes slits or little tabs to hold gift cards. So you can hold them vertically or horizontally. So it cuts out. And the cool thing about this is the pieces that are left over, they make great antennae for bugs. So I always save the pieces that pop out when I use it. So I use that to hold the gift card. And then I use this stamp set, and I used this. This is one of my favorite ones. It's got all these kind of snarky coffee sentiments. Obviously, I love this one. I've used it a lot. But this is the one I use that says, "I drink coffee for your protection." So this is what the inside looks like. It's pretty simple. But the gift card slides into this little pouch right here. And then I just used a little tiny scrap of what was left over of that paper. So I only threw away a little bit of sliver of each of those colors. But so yeah, so that's my gift card holders. And I'll show you this one. Same thing. And these do hold those gift cards nice. You just have to make sure that you only glue around the perimeter and then glue down this piece so that this is all free behind to stick in your gift card. But so that's the first couple I made. I do have some pieces. I guess I could just show you guys. I do have some pieces that I cut out of Jack and Sally. I'm kind of bummed because this paper, I didn't realize it when I was using it. It was white core. So when you cut something this detailed, it tends to show. But I think I'll just fix that with my marker. But I was pretty impressed with how these ones cut out. So I actually cut out 3 of them. So I'll make a card with those next, just so that they don't go to waste. So that is my little share for today. And like I said, I'll be back soon with those 4 albums. All I did is just kind of a preview is I pulled one of my favorite album tutorials and I just pulled out 4 paper collections from Halloween that I wanted to use. And I made the same album 4 times. And so I blew through basically 4 paper collections. I used an old one I think called Eekaboo. This one is obviously Pinkaboo. This is an Authentique, and this one is Dark Fairy Tale. For the Pinkaboo and the Dark Fairy Tale, it was half the paper pad. I just pulled out 1 sheet of each pattern so that if I want to make it again or I want to make another album, I still have 1 sheet of every pattern left over. So as soon as I finish the covers on all 4 of those, I'll be back to share them. But I just want to come on real quick and share these cards. All right, you guys, I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.